All right, everyone. Hope you didn't have anything important to do today. We're going to go up. We're going to go up in order of, I guess, perceived value, perceived like significance, okay? In the 29 categories. Best esports team, I have no opinion on this. Sorry. Best esports athlete, no opinion on this. I used to have an opinion on this, now I don't. Best esports game, Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang. What the hell is this? Is this China? China? What is this? Probably China. Why does it say Bang Bang? You know what? There's an obvious answer to this, and you're all going to hate me for it. It's obviously League of Legends. This shit has had a hold on culture, like, for so long. It's like, it's insane how long they've reigned. I'm not even talking about the quality of the game. I'm just saying, like, they have stood head and shoulders. It's like World of Warcraft with MMOs. I'm not talking about the quality of World of Warcraft anymore. I'm just talking about the, like, the mountain that they are above everything else, you know? Well, good luck with that. Who's even the guy on the front now? Is that Ilaoi? Oh, that's Ilaoi, my queen. I love her. My favorite guy. Oh, you know who that is? I mained Ilaoi. Ilaoi and Sion after the rework, top lane. I was a top lane boy. Content creator of the year. Where's Asmongold? I don't know any of these people. Is this how it feels to get old? I remember like a decade ago or whatever, I had opinions on this. I don't know any of these people. Okay, just going by wait, this is the guy where he has the transgender cup or something. I've seen the memes of Cassio. Is it I assume it's Cassio. He seems cool, I guess, in the bits that I've seen of him. I haven't seen anything of any of these people though. So by default, Cassio. He seems cool. It's pronounced queso? Queso. Okay, all right. I guess I figured that if it was pronounced that way, there'd be a Q somewhere in there, but okay. All right. Not saying nothing. Most anticipated game. Monster Hunter Wilds, Metroid 4 Prime Beyond, Grand Theft Auto 6, Ghost of Yotai. Okay, first of all, industry plant category, to be clear. Let's knock Ghost of Yotai off the list. Are you kidding me? Come on. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, let's be real, probably gonna suck. I'm sorry. You're not recapturing that glory. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Monster Hunter Wilds, get out of here. Are you joking? Okay. We already had Monster Hunter World. There's like 50 Monster Hunter games. What were you telling me this one's going to be so special? What cute animation have you cooked up this time of the little duders frying you a steak? Okay. I don't know. It's obviously going to be either Grand Theft Auto okay, the winner will be Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm most excited for Death Stranding 2 on the beach because I'm a Kojima head despite having never played a single Metal Gear Solid game. That's how much of a Kojima head that I am. All I've played from Kojima is Death Stranding 1, and that was enough to make me a Kojima head, which I would say makes me more of a Kojima head than you guys, because you needed the Metal Gear Solid franchise to get hooked, and for me, all it took was one whiff. You played Vengeance? Yes, but Vengeance was not directed by him. Just used his property. That was made by Platinum Games. Death Stranding has a awful story. Your last words before being thrown into the volcano. Death Stranding actually has the best story because it's absolute incoherent nonsense. That means nothing. It's the best possible kind of story. Yeah, also, where's Silksong on here? Where's Silksong? Silksong deserves to be here more than Ghost of Yotai, at least. Can we be real? Why is Ghost of Yotai knocked off automatically? Because Ghost of Tsushima was not good or iconic enough to warrant the presence of Ghost of Yotai here. Ghost of Tsushima was fine for people on the burner between like their next and future Dark Souls game, okay? Let's be real here. Understand your place. But it was, I'm not saying that it's not good. I didn't say it's bad. You got to remember that he hates open world games. I don't like meaningless open world games. Death Stranding's open world, but it's meaningful. Did you even play it? No. Mostly going off of the relevance of Ghost of Tsushima based on like how many memes I see of it, and I don't see any memes of it. Anyway, moving on. Best adaptation. Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, Tomb Raider, The Legend. Okay, like obvious. What, are you kidding me? Fake category. Might as well just put one person in here. It's obviously going to be Arcane. It's going to be Arcane. It's going to be Arcane, and Arcane probably deserves it. I haven't seen Arcane Season 2. I saw Arcane Season 1, and like, you know, you can hate League of Legends as much as you want, and I do. It's still good. Like, you know, it's still good. I'm just glad that Riot wanted to make an animated series tie-in and rather than produce bullshit, they produce something really good. Is that so wrong? Like, is that like they used that money and threw it to some Frenchmen and who were like, oh, we will make something good. And they made something good. Like, whatever. Can't hate. Best multiplayer. Oh, fucking, who cares? Who the fuck? Call of Duty, the 47th Call of Duty game, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, Warfare. I don't have any opinion on this. I don't care. Multiplayer is the tool they use to keep you in chains, okay? Play single-player games with a definitive conclusion and be free. Best sports / racing. I have no opinion on this. I will say, however, that it looks pretty dire that all of these have the year after it. Like, none of these are unique, like, one-off sports game projects. Does that make any sense? Like, there's not like a skate in here. It's, yeah, sports games are generally slow. And I say that understanding that people could accurately respond with, well, have you played literally any of them? And the answer to that is no. The last time I played a sports game was like a WWE game on the Game Boy Advance 15 years ago, and that also sucked. But I don't think that's really relevant to the conversation at hand, you know? It is still slop. Best sim / strategy. I don't see anyone talking about Frostpunk 2, which is crazy. Age of Mythology Retold. This is just a remake. Or like a remaster or something. Manor Lords, haven't heard, I don't know anything about. Ugh, God. The real-time strategy genre sure is dead, huh? Are you kidding me? Unicorn Overlord. I wish we could see color so we could see. This looks like, wait, is this just Overlord? Like the anime? With the horny, like, dragon girl with the huge tits? That looks like Overlord. All anime fantasy slop looks exactly the same. You ever notice that? Like, when someone wants to make an anime fantasy game, they all look exactly the same. Like, you can't tell them apart unless you recognize which, like, specific hair color / hairstyle combo the main heroine has going on. Manor Lords, made by Slavic Magic. Okay, so racist people made this. Gotcha. I'm sorry. Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, probably slop. Don't care. Hate anime games. Frostpunk 2. Frostpunk 1 was really good. And Age of Mythology Retold, literally a remaster. Has to go to Frostpunk, sorry. It's made by a single dude. Manor Lords? Is he racist? Yeah, Perkus, I agree. If this was a real competition, one of the 5 entrants here would be Age of Empires 2. The remaster that came out like years ago. And I'm not kidding. That shit bangs. Sorry, nobody's doing anything new or interesting in the strategy. Also, if we're just doing sim / strategy, not even just RTS, like sim included, are we not missing? What about not Frostpunk, with the one with the beavers, the beaver people, there's a Timberborn. Yeah, what about Timberborn? Am I thinking of Timberborn? People hate Timberborn? Am I? No, wait, not Timberborn. No. Another one. It's like you do little like 1 to 2 hour game Against the Storm. That one. What about that one? The selected awards are kind of thin, sadly. Yeah, because all the best games that are being made right now are like little cool indie games that will never make it onto these lists, because these lists are like, the only purpose of award shows is to reward corporate slop. Like, you're just trying to draw hype and attention to the stuff that, you know, investors have dumped hundreds of millions of dollars into. Like, that's the purpose of shit like this. Yeah, indie games sometimes make it on here, but for the most part, it's corporate cocksucking. Where's Dungeon of Blood and Dream? I've been having fun with that one. Nearly 100%ed it. That game's wacky. The fact that Cruelty Squad could never make it onto one of these lists is evidence against the worthwhileness of the list, and I'm not joking. Cruelty Squad, by defying genre and proving itself more worthwhile than like basically any other game that came out that year, it can't be categorized, not easily at least, so it can't get on this list. I mean, not this list, but like the list years prior. So as a consequence of that, like, the list is faulty. What's that game about? Cruelty Squad? I don't know. Go watch a 4-hour Pyrocynical video, okay? Go. Listen. Shut up. Just put the cruelty in the squad. Had that one in the bank for a while. Best family game. Oh. Plucky Squire. Haven't heard of it. Looks like every game. Oh, I think I've seen like ads for this. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, I only heard people talk about before it released and not after it released, which is a really bad sign for a game. Super Mario Party Jamboree, fun NL streams. Princess Peach Showtime. I don't know anything about this. Astrobot, heard a million people talk well about it. Accolades, super hype, da-da-da. Wish I could play it. Don't have a PS5. Nice. Astrobot, easy win. Best fighting. I don't really like fighting games. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, don't care. Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, don't care. Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, don't care. Multiverses, Tekken. You know what? I'm giving it to Multiverses because it's the only thing here that's remotely new. Genuinely. I'm just so sick of everything. I'm sick of everything, like the iteration 27 of the same franchise. I don't care how good Tekken 8. I'm just sick of it. I don't play any of these games. I don't care. At least Multiverses gives us something to talk about. Like, oh, wow, Powerpuff Girls can fight Superman? That's kind of cool. Versus, what are we talking about with this one? People, like, respectfully, not intended in a hateful way, Black and Latin people posting clips from Dragon Ball Sparking Zero going like, yo, he did not just say that. And then a guy says something like, I'm going to beat you. And then they fight by punching each other hard enough to move the other person back 2 or 3 feet. And then one of them does a super and blows up the planet. Like, okay, yo, for real, that one out of pocket. And it's like he punched him really hard into a mountain. I don't know. Like, at least Multiverses gives me something to chew on a little bit. Like the model for Wonder Woman. I've seen that. Dude, legit, this is a terrible take / lace with a bit of racism. I make like 57 jokes about white otakus chowing down on gotcha slop, but I make the extremely salient, always correct point that Black and Latin people love Dragon Ball Z one time, and by one time I mean like I've done it a lot, but it's true, so. All right, I'm voting for Multiverses because I don't care how shit it is. You can't disrespect Dragon Ball Vosh, not acceptable. I can, because it's actually like really bad. The only good Dragon Ball content ever produced was Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball. And even that was really creepy and rapey, too, with a lot of weird-ass Master Roshi, little kid saying whatever. Everything after, literally, he was literally saying, like, I don't want to produce this, but my editors want me to produce more. Like, I don't understand how popular. Like, it got so popular despite the creator not even caring. You're correct, but you still can't say it? Yeah, I guess. Best RPG, Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm not gonna lie, this is a controversial opinion, but I played through all of Dragon's Dogma 2 to the final ending. Shit game. Genuinely, like, not fun to play. People kept talking about it, and it was so, the way they talked about it was so, like, compelling. I was like, surely after another 50 hours, I'll eventually come around the other side and arrive at a point where this is fun. It never happened. So you wasted your time? Yes. Yeah, genuinely. This is actually, Dragon's Dogma 2 is a masterclass in threading me along without giving me anything for it. I've spent so much time waiting for it to get good and it didn't. I don't normally get fooled by games like that. Normally when a game is like that, I identify it very quickly and I drop that shit. Didn't happen this time. So, you know. Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like, oh, by the way, haven't seen anyone talk about this. Ha! Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, ReFantasio. Well, I don't really give a shit about any of this except for Shadow of the Erdtree, which bangs, so I say Shadow of the Erdtree. Did you play Pikmin 4? Yeah, Pikmin 4 is amazing. I 100%ed it. Also, was Pikmin 4 this year or last year? Because if it was this year, why the f*** wasn't it in Best Sim / Strategy? It's a DLC. Who cares? Is it bad? Okay, last year? Okay, good. Is it bad for a DLC to be in the running? Why is it? I don't get that at all. What's wrong with the DLC being in the running? How do you even play Pikmin without 100%ing it? You haven't played Pikmin 4. They've got some challenges in there. Because it's not a game. It's objectively a game. Can you try again? Because it's not a full game? I don't care. It's a piece of content. It's a, like, distinct piece of content. It also takes more time to beat Shadow of the Erdtree than it takes to beat a lot of other games. So it's not like we're talking about the length of time it takes to beat it or whatever. You can't play without the base game. You can't play the base game without a computer or a PS4 or 5 or something. Who cares? Like, it's a game. What's wrong with the DLC being here? Yeah, I'll tell you why people don't like this being here, because it's better than the other shit, okay? I see right through your shit. That's not fair. You can't put us up against Elden Ring and then it's DLC, even though its DLC is like 50 hours of content. No, you can't do that. That's not fair. Well, make a better game then. Sorry. Best action adventure. Astrobot seems to be really good. I haven't played it. Haven't heard anyone talk about Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. The only thing that I saw about Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown was somebody clowning on the guy's haircut, because like, I don't know why, but developers really like giving people with, I don't know if it's necessarily like he's black, but like people with black hair, like the hair, they give them like the side part. Yeah, the Killmonger cut with like the dreads, but it's like boom. So I saw people clowning on that. I haven't seen anything about the actual game though. Are Persians black? I mean, the Persian, it was an empire, so presumably like, yeah, a lot of Persians were black, right? I mean, they were like right there, you know? Star Wars Outlaws and Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which I again haven't heard anybody say anything about. Can I be real? I haven't played it. I saw NL play it. Silent Hill 2 did not look compelling to me at all. I've seen playthroughs of Silent Hill 2, the original, which looked really interesting. I unironically think the gleam of the original Silent Hill 2, the joy, the splendor of the original, was the fixed camera angles and the shitty, crunchy graphics. I'm sorry, man. Like, there's a reason analog horror is so popular today, and I think that, like, you can spend $100 million remaking it with modern fancy graphics if you want. I don't know if you're necessarily capturing that energy. There's just like an unreality in the crunchy analog horror graphics, like, you know, PS2 fixed camera angle shit. I don't know. Right there, it's further from Africa than most Europe. The Persian Empire? Brother, the Persian Empire was in Africa. Also, Moors made their way all up into Europe all the time. You're telling me they made it all the way up there, but they didn't stop anywhere here? There are tons of black people in the Persian Empire. That's just a historical fact. People sometimes get really tetchy about this because there are like a lot of white supremacist modern Iranians. After all, Aryan comes from Iran, right? Because like Iran, a lot of Iranians basically look like, not, I wouldn't say white, like in the way that most people would think of white, like I guess me, but whitish, you know? So they're like, well, no, actually, real Persians would have all looked like 6'8", blue-eyed, blonde-haired gigachads. And it's like, well, no. Obviously no, even as evidenced by like the anthropological records we have from multiple eras of the Persian Empire. Like you take a look at the depictions of your leaders and people, and you're telling me all those guys look like they were called Wagner or something? No, that's not true. Who cares? Yeah, you want to be white here? You'll die. You're going to get skin cancer day one. They're popping your white ass out of the womb into the baking sun day one. You instantly just shrivel like a raisin. Come on. That's ridiculous. I wouldn't want to be white here in like 1432. Are you kidding me? They hadn't invented sunscreen. I would be like what do you call them with the pale skin and the red eyes? What is it? Why am I blanking on this? Albino. Yeah. I'd be like disabled out there. That the Aryan skin would reflect the sunlight, protecting them. Oh, they were actually like the greatest warriors on the battlefield. It was like leading a charge with a disco ball. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't know. Let's just give it to Astrobot. Action adventure? Sure, give it to Astrobot. Best action game: Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. What are we doing here, man? Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade. Dude, when this loses, if it loses, people are gonna lose their minds. This is evidence of woke takeover of gaming culture, racism against Korean people. They're gonna throw everything out there. Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2. I haven't played any of these. I have to say though, and again, and this is like really odd to me, and I know this is like massive selection bias on my part, but when a game like Elden Ring comes out, normally I am like inundated with clips of people fighting the bosses because the bosses are really cool. Why haven't I seen any of those clips for Black Myth Wukong? Didn't Black Myth Wukong get like 50 million players or something? Like it popped off like crazy. Is it interesting to play at all? You just didn't get it? You haven't been paying attention? Well, the Radical Dino, you're literally Chinese, okay? Your YouTube algorithm probably accounts for you having looked up a few recipes to impress your relatives at some point, and after that it just fed you a million clips of Wukong final boss, no hit, such and such. It saddens me to say this, but it's actually not bad. It's like a God of War type. It's more like God of War than like the Souls games. I guess that's cool. We're kind of oversaturated on Souls likes. Like From Software is still producing a lot of their games. You know what I mean? Like, the king is still sitting on the throne. I don't know how many, like, copycats we need right now. If From Software, you know, gets, like, the parent company gets acquired by Activision and From Software gets broken up or whatever, then maybe you can have more indie takes on the front. Like, there are so many AA game studios out there that are trying to make their own Souls-like. That's, like, just does not sufficiently deviate from the model. The only good one, to my knowledge, has been Lies of P. And there are good indie ones. But in terms of the AA attempts, Neo 2 is amazing. I guess Neo counts. I haven't played the Neo games. I've seen them played, though. I don't know. Maybe I'm just yapping. Best action game. I'm going to say Stellar Blade because I like that she's got big yams. Best VR/AR. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on this, I guess. Metro, was there a Metro VR game? I didn't even hear about that. Also, what's the point of putting VR and AR in the same category? Like, they're completely different things. Whatever. Best mobile game. AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card, Wuthering Waves, Endless Zone, Balatro. Like, the obvious, if it's not Balatro, then the game studio's physical location will be swept by a mob the next day. It's obviously, it's Balatro sweep, basically. It's not even close. China slop sweep. Well, it would be if Balatro wasn't there. Thank God for Local Funk, another single-person developed game. Just wait till Xi Jinping invents a good video game. Then you Westerners will be sorry. Best debut indie game. Animal Well, this is the donkey vote. Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, The Plucky Squire. Don't care. I've heard good stuff about Pacific Drive, but I haven't played it. Manor Lords, I don't know anything about it. I have to vote for Balatro here. Look, apparently Animal Well is really good. Balatro is like insanely good though. If for an idea on how good and how popular and how effective Balatro has been, it wasn't even meant to be a big project by the single dev. He just made it as like a test project while working towards his dream goal. Since then, he's been getting partnership deals with like every game in the world. I think literally today, he's got like Warframe tie-in. He's got The Witcher. He's got like Shovel Knight. He's got like every other indie game. It's just so many people want to get in on it. Sort of like Toby Fox with Undertale. It would be like if Toby Fox wanted to make Undertale but knew that he needed more practice first. So instead he started working on like a little side project first to build up his game dev chops, and then that one got as popular as Undertale. Undertale was the side project for Deltarune. I don't know if I believe that. He worked on Undertale for like 5 years. As practice for Deltarune, Deltarune was the initial project for Toby Fox. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. Well, then he better hurry the fuck up with Deltarune, huh? Toby Fox is just really autistic. I know that. Best independent game. Wait, didn't we just... Best debut indie game. Best indie game. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, know nothing about it. You've got Animal Well, Balatro again. Neva, don't know anything about it. UFO 50 is like 50 little 8-bit games, kinda? Like 50 NES games or whatever, packed in the one, which is cool. I give it to Balatro again. I give it to Balatro again. Yoink. Best community support. This has always been such a stupid category. Like, just literally just like how much do you post on social media and how many patches do you throw out there? Wouldn't it have to be Fortnite then? First of all, Final Fantasy XIV, Lamau. No Man's Sky. How many times has No Man's Sky won this category by people who saw the video? Yeah, Internet Historian video. Baldur's Gate 3 gets support. I don't know. I'm giving it to Fortnite because they introduce something new every like 2 seconds. Whatever. Best ongoing. Best of the bad, I guess. Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2. Of all of these, I feel like the only one... Dude, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Final Fantasy 14. That might be my bet, because it's the only one of these games I've actually played. Diablo 4 was so trash, dude. I actually... I played 2 hours of it. You're talking to somebody who has beaten Diablo 1 with every class, Diablo 2 hundreds of hours, both in the original and on Resurrected, or whatever the fuck the remake was. Hundreds of hours in Diablo 3. Played Diablo 4 for 2 hours, this shit ass, and put it right the fuck down. It's not good. Are you gonna play PoE 2? Can somebody explain to me what is supposed to be different about Path of Exile 2? Like, they kept updating shit in Path of Exile 1. It's slower and worse. It costs money, literally nothing. Okay, yeah, so yeah, probably not going to play Path of Exile 2. Unfortunately, it's fundamentally a slop genre. that style of action, like those games are literally just like net deck, find your build online, and then spend thousands of hours like fine tuning it to make all the numbers go up. And then actually playing your build takes no effort because you have so many synergies at that point that like 50 trillion laser beams are going off in every direction. Like you're basically a one-man floating fortress moving through a sea of enemies, and your only job is to not stand in the circle where the fire is about to pop up. Like the decision making gets scaled back significantly. It's not a game that's interesting to play, it's a game that's interesting to build. And like that, I'm not putting thousands of hours into that shit. It's a slot type game. Unfortunately, I would be way more into a game like that, like a Diablo or Path of Exile starting, style game, if they made enemies worth a damn. Like beating an enemy was significant, and it wasn't just like a sea of slop that you melt into. Unfortunately, just I don't know. PoE 2 is actually trying to do that. Well, we'll see if they succeed in doing that, and if I start to hear good things about it, then maybe I'll pick it up. So like Dark Souls, lol. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why people really liked Dark Souls and everything that came after it. Because by deliberately disempowering the player, it forces you to respect and take seriously every enemy. You can't just mow down enemies like with your their slop and you just cut through them. And if you could do that, it wouldn't be fun at all. They're very intelligently placed. It's not just like a randomly generated map with a bunch of dudes just standing there and you just run forward doing like here, you know. Tell that to hack and slash. Yeah, but the difference is that the original God of War games don't ask you to place thousands of hours into them, so you can optimize the roll drop chance of the piece of gear that you want, where you want the trinket that has it has like a 25 to 50 range on the percentage bonus that you get to another skill, and you just got a 47, but you know if you grind it out for a few hundred more hours, you might get a 48, 49, or 50. Like, yeah. Huge difference, you know? And if they made the original God of War games like that, I don't think people would like them as much. Games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Oh, the woke category. And one with 6 entrants, huh? Phenomenal. I know nothing about any of these. Life is Strange double exposure? Okay, is the new Life is Strange game any good, or is it bad like the last 5? I just bought Balatro, thanks. Don't thank me. There's no good Life is Strange game. I don't think that's true. I think that the original was good. I think that it was a lot like Catcher in the Rye, where if you interpret the game as like validating the bad decisions of the characters, you'll think the game is stupid. But if you understand that the game is merely depicting the stupidity of the characters in a somewhat realistic fashion, and you're not meant to necessarily sympathize with that, but rather to like run through it, you know? I think that it's good. Like, people dislike Catcher in the Rye because they, for some stupid reason, think the book is like agreeing with the statements of its main character. I have no idea why people do it. It demonstrates such a low IQ, such a low level of critical thought when consuming media. Like, oh, because the character in the book says a thing, that means the book is trying to tell me the thing they're saying is correct? What? I don't know. It's because it's from the perspective of the main character. Well, I hope none of these illiterate motherfuckers ever read Lolita. Jesus Christ, God only knows what would happen to their character if they read that. What an interesting book. Unfortunately, it's asking me to agree with all the things said and believed by the perspective character. I love reading through the literary, version of Fight Club. I trust everything the narrator's saying. If the main character says and if the perspective character believes something, that means it has to be true. Or the Telltale Heart was advocating some shit. I hate reading the Telltale Heart because I don't understand if Edgar Allan Poe realizes, but corpses don't actually make noises like that. Yeah, I guess maybe they didn't have like the medical science back then to understand that. Maybe it was like a superstition thing, but like that's not real. So it really took me out of the book. Was he stupid? Yeah, I haven't played any of these. A lot of people were all capsing Indica, and I have to say I'm kind of captivated by the cover art on this one. So I don't know. Maybe we'll go like Indica for funsies. We'll toss that one out there like as a gimme. I don't really know. Kind of like a random. Innovations in accessibility. Interesting category, but I don't have any opinion on it because I ain't played any of these games except for Diablo 4 for 2 hours, which is admittedly highly accessible because I think you'd have to be to sink a lot of your life into it. So I guess it's nice to have that like carrot on the leash. or on the string. Apart from that, though, I don't even understand this category. Well, game accessibility in the sense of like making it available to people who can't normally play games of that type, which is cool. Best performance. I haven't played any of these games, so I have no opinion. 4 women, 1 man. Woke. Best audio design. Astrobot. Why not? I don't know. Audio. Best score and music. Stellar Blade. Yam Yams. Best art direction. I don't think you can give it to Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree because this is where it being a DLC actually does hurt it. It has the same art direction as the original game. It's the same like lighting, modeling, so on and so forth system. It's a very pretty game, but it's not. You can't really say it's like a direction, I guess, because in that case you're not evaluating it based on the quality of its content. You're evaluating it based on like the novelty and interest of the art direction, which is the same as the original game. So I think that in this case, being a DLC kind of hurts it. Of course, it's possible for a DLC to have a totally different art direction, but that's pretty unlikely, you know? Yeah, I don't know anything about anything. Can't really say. Astrobot does not look that interesting from an art direction perspective here. So no, can't really speak to that one. Black Myth Wukong just looks like a regular ass game to me, so I guess it would be Neva or Metaphor Reef Fantasio. I don't really know. Best narrative. I don't know. You can't give it to Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 already came out. It's the same narrative. I don't think that's fair. That's not a new narrative. It's the same narrative. You can't do that. Okay, is Metaphor Reef Fantasio actually good? People keep talking about it. Yeah, it is. Well, what's it about? It's like an anime game. Aren't those all bad?
One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
What kind of lessons do we learn from our favorite pieces of
Wait, is this like an anime? Wait, what? Hold on. I think I see why you guys like it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Seeing femme catboy with leash slave thing, is that why you guys like this? Come on, what kind of, what do you take me for? I'm not playing this trash. Are you kidding? This is the most pandering shit I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, we've carefully orchestrated like a fantasy universe wherein like you are, I'm assuming right at the beginning because I'm not stupid, put in a position to see like lurid, drawn, animated slave, femboy, catboy. Yeah, no. That's a noose? That's not a noose. That's just a rope tied around his neck. That's not a hangman's knot. Nice try. Somebody has to slave the cat. Oh, I know how it goes. You either the catboy dies and you feel awful, or you have to save him. And then he's like, Master, thank you so much for saving me. I understand. Listen, there's only one kind of cat I recognize, and it's fat like this. Okay? Now you give me an anime game where there's a bunch of like beefy fantasy armored warriors, and then they have this in chains. Not like a guy, but just like a fat cat. Like he committed crimes. I'll save that cat. Oh, you're going to kick? Are you mad? Just like 4 like beefy paladins escorting a 22-pound cat with like manacles around his front and back paws. So I guess we're gonna give it to Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, just by like default, I guess. Best game direction. Outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Astro Boy is good, but from what I've seen, it's not innovative. Shadow of the Erdtree is literally a DLC, so no. Black Myth Wukong doesn't look like it. Looks like just like a hack and slash. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is literally like a DLC/sequel to a remake of an old game. So it's either Metaphor Refantasio or Balatro, and I'm going to give it to Balatro because in Balatro they don't ask you, will you save this catboy slave who will call you Master? Balatro, sweet. You just said DLC counts. DLC counts as in it's valid to include in the Game Awards, but best game direction? It's DLC. If it was about the quality of Shadow of the Erdtree, that'd be one thing. But direction, that's like about like innovative, like unique design. If it's DLC with the same direction as the original game, that kind of disqualifies it. Artemy. Game of the Year. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy, Metaphor, Refantasio. Man, they really like throwing this one at us, huh? Game of the Year, Balatro. Balatro sweep! Balatro sweep! Balatro deserves it, to be fair. Look, at the end of the day, the only real measure is, did this add to the world, right? Like, will this be forgotten? Is this just another one of a thing? Or did this add? Did this create? And Balatro added. Balatro created. That's all there is to it. Didn't like one guy make it. Yeah, they're calling him the wealthiest man in the world. I disagree with so many takes here. That's fine. That's your right. All right. Good hustle, team. Really, though, like, it's been a great year for gaming as long as you play games that aren't on the Game Awards lists. Like, there are so many good games out there. I would say one of the real issues with, like, getting into games now, if you're interested in, like, getting into or, like what you care about, what you want to play, is probably the fact that I feel like it's difficult to find reviewers who give you a good idea of what's out there that's actually worth playing, you know? So much reviewer energy is wasted looking for clicks, talking about like big industry fails or big games that came out that everyone already has their opinions on. You know, like everyone tries to ride the algorithm or whatever. It's genuinely really difficult to find reviewers who like find the interesting stuff.